Welcome, folks, to the Pro Wrestling Report Reaction. We are live here on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020 on Fight TV. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David the Octavius, the Tiberius, the alleged backyard, one-time knockout, straight edge, hardcore Hall of Famer hero. How are you?
There you go. I was waiting for the how are you. I'm doing
Why do I have
great.
to ask?
Well, because
Why are you so needy? We're
I'm
live
not
all over the
needy.
world. We're live on Fight TV, our great
there
partner.
is a veil of professionalism that we're supposed to have on this show.
Yes, I do have that veil of professionalism here on this show. Where's yours?
Oh, I got married a long time ago. That's in the trash
Wait,
somewhere.
you wore the veil?
No, she did.
It's a weird setup.
No, not at all.
It's Wednesday. It's Dynamite Wednesday, folks. This is Reaction. We are live on Fight TV, all across our social channels as well, including YouTube, already said Fight. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And thank you for joining us wherever you are all over the world. We do appreciate you joining us, and we do encourage you to subscribe to us on YouTube if you're watching there, like the page on Facebook, and also follow us on Twitter at PWR360. And David, a unique show today. We are 1 week removed or so, just under 1 week removed from WWE announcing substantial talent cuts last week. As we talked about on PrimeTime. When did we talk about it? No, we did a special PrimeTime Live podcast last Thursday night where we talked about this. And they fired a lot of people. A lot of talent.
It was last Wednesday. It was a week ago. It was a week ago.
It was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It's been 7 days.
So we've had time to digest. You've had time to digest. And what we want to do today is to take a deeper look at each of the talents that were released individually and to give you our assumptions and recommendations as to where they are going to end up or where they should
So
end
we're
up.
booking where the free agents should wind up?
It's almost like a fantasy draft. These people are now on the table,
Oh, yeah.
and somebody's got to pick them up.
So you want to take the first pick for AEW?
No, no. We're not going to do it that way.
No?
Because I think it's a
Oh,
foregone
so you
conclusion.
want the first pick for New Japan?
I think it's a foregone conclusion that a lot of fans are thinking all these people are going to end up in AEW, and that's just not going to happen.
not even
But what we
close.
want to do is talk about what if and where should, and if they did, why. And talk about the individuals a little more than just the group of talents, and be strategic with this, which is no doubt the way any other organization is going to look at these talents now that they have become available, as they say up north.
So where do you think Sid's going to wind up?
Sid? Sid
Yeah.
Yulee?
Psycho Sid Justice.
Where did it
He's
come
a
from?
free agent right now.
No. Of the people that were released 1 week ago.
I don't know where he's going to wind
We
up.
are joined here live by Linda Kay, who is taking a look and monitoring your social media comments. Linda, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. Excited to be back with you guys this week.
Were you not with us last week? You weren't. Yes, you
No.
were.
No.
On Reaction?
I was,
No.
but you know.
Yes, she was.
Well, right, but not talking about, pump the brakes. She wasn't talking about the guys that got released.
Oh, gosh, you just are. I mean,
Hey, it's all about the details.
unless it comes to anything you're quote-unquote reporting on.
Hey, context is completely different, but details is important.
Usually the details are in the context.
No, it's two completely different words.
Linda, thank you for joining us, and I understand you've got some results of an online poll that we did via Twitter earlier this week that we are going to share here tonight on Reaction as well. So thank you for that, and we'll get to you with some of your comments and thoughts too. But folks, let's first talk about the biggest name of the names that were released. He is a WWE Hall of Famer, and he was contracted to WWE, though not being used very extensively. Kurt Angle. David, it's a bit different for Kurt because his career is essentially winding down, if not almost over. But if you are Kurt, you've still got some fuel in the tank and may want to still be in the game.
You know what? I don't know if Kurt Angle wants to wrestle anymore. He may come out for a one-off or a two-off appearance deal, but I mean, he can sell tickets wherever he winds up. If it's for the
His name matters.
If it's for the NWA, AEW, New Japan, Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, wherever Kurt Angle decides to end up for appearances, not a full-time deal. I can't imagine that's in the cards for him. It's going to put eyes on that product. I love it. I think that everyone should work with the Olympic gold medalist. I've worked with him a couple times.
Who should pick him up? Where should he go? If he's going to continue in his career, and this one, again, more difficult than others, Where should he go? Where would he be most impactful and not Impact? He already did that.
You know, you have to believe that because of the television, AEW would be the best bet for Kurt Angle. Just because if you put him on that TV, Joe Walmart that's clicking through the channels on a Wednesday night sees Kurt Angle, they might stop and say, oh, I remember that guy. I'm going to stay and watch him.
But there's a lot of, I remember that guys already.
But it's different. Kurt Angle is Attitude Era Kurt Angle as well. So people that haven't maybe watched in 15, 20 years, they see Kurt Angle, they're going to check this, they're going to tune in to check it out.
How many matches did Kurt Angle have in WWE when he came back?
Maybe a dozen.
Was it that many, do you think?
Maybe.
I was thinking maybe half a dozen.
Maybe a dozen. It doesn't matter.
But here's the challenge. WWE, I think, helped protect Kurt from Kurt. Would another organization protect Kurt from Kurt?
I mean, listen.
I'm
Jack
listening.
Swagger versus Kurt Angle could be a thing.
Jake Hager.
Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle could be a thing.
Cody.
So
you're saying AEW?
You know,
you don't feel it.
I don't know if Kurt wants to do that again.
This is tough. Kurt's a tough one to pick.
No, because with Kurt, it's like he left to go to Impact, TNA Impact, and he came back and was welcomed with a hero's welcome. Like he got merchandise, he was featured prominently, you know, he was treated like a iconic legend.
As he is.
If he goes and signs with the competition for NXT, I don't know if he would be well received to ever come back again.
They fired him.
He was released. He wasn't fired.
They fired him.
No, he was said that he released.
They fired him.
Well, that's
he
what
can
you
do whatever he
call
wants.
it.
They've allowed him free to do whatever he wants.
Right, but at this point in Kurt's career, you'd like to believe that, hey, he's good. But you never know. He's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
He may want to go out and have a different match to be his last match besides him and Baron Corbin. I don't care if it's WrestleMania or not.
Is there a dream match that exists in the wrestling world for Kurt Angle right now?
I think that those matches would have been in WWE. I think it would have been a Bobby Lashley, would have been a rematch with Brock Lesnar, a Drew McIntyre. In AEW, you have to look and see which of those talents match up well with him. A Chris Jericho. Do you want to see a Jericho Angle match again? Would you want to see a Moxley versus Kurt Angle match? I think people would want to see a Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle match.
This guy would.
Of course you would. And then, there's Impact. Does he go back to Impact? I don't see that in the cards. NWA, maybe. But I don't think Kurt's going to wrestle in New Japan because that's a completely different style. But yeah, Kurt Angle, he's a coin flip. But if he's going to go anywhere, he's going to go and get paid well, and that would have to be AEW. But again, I can just see Kurt riding out the storm and then coming back to WWE when everything almost goes back to normal.
Here's a wild card. What about Ring of Honor?
Not a chance.
They need star power.
Not a chance.
Why not a chance? He would be perfect for them.
Because they don't have the media coverage. Yes, they're based out of the Northeast, which
they don't have the media coverage. They're the third most broadcasted wrestling organization in the world.
They are, but their ratings are in the tank.
You don't know that.
Well, from what I've heard and seen.
So they are saying, people are saying, they're telling me.
Oh, no, the networks.
You've been watching a lot of press briefings, haven't you?
No, the networks that have the Ring of Honor, I see
Sinclair
what they're selling,
Broadcasting.
what their rates are for a 30-second spot.
But that right there could be an elevation opportunity for Ring of Honor. If Kurt Angle wants to not burn bridges, is that not the best place for him to go?
Okay. You know what? Name 2 people Kurt Angle would work with in Ring of Honor.
I can't do that right now.
Exactly. He ain't going there.
Now, I'm not necessarily talking about going to wrestle. I'm talking about just being a part of the organization. They need
when Matt
somebody
Hardy
to hang their hat on.
When Matt Hardy went there, he did great business for Ring of Honor. I just don't see it. And I'll be honest, I forgot about Ring of Honor until you brought it up.
I thought you were an opinionist.
I am, but I'm also about context.
So we're not going to.
I got to write Ring of Honor down, or I'm going to forget about it next time.
We're not going to say Kurt Angle's a difficult one, right? Because he could wrestle, he may not wrestle, he may wrestle. We don't know. So that one's very tough. So we'll give him a slight lean to AEW, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If anywhere, then there. But it's more likely he's not going to go anywhere.
And here's what you got to think of: who is Kurt Angle friendly with in AEW right now? That if you're going to go there, that has to be the reason why he wants to work with somebody there.
Again, you're assuming he's going to wrestle.
No, but he's going to be in a program. What's he going to do? Just come out and say hi and wave? Do color commentary?
The next name we want to talk about, folks,
Why you
is
cut me
another
off?
big name that was released last week by WWE. And he is a man who likes to fight. His wife's still employed by WWE. Oh, Lana, won't you marry me now? But Rusev, a free agent now, or at least in 75 days or so, a free agent to go wherever he wants. And members of the AEW team have gone on record regarding Rusev as of late, namely Jim Ross, David Hero. This is probably the biggest of the biggest names that aren't Kurt Angle on that list.
Rusev is a legit stud. He's a main event type player. He's had programs with pretty much all the top guys in WWE.
Including John Cena? Came in on a tank at Mania.
I mean, he worked Undertaker. He worked John Cena. He's been elevated. He's a multi-time champion. He never won the big one, but he was always one of the guys that you're like, yeah, he is this close to being at that next level. And I think Rusev would be the best addition for AEW. I think if you let Rusev be Rusev, him and Moxley could have a hell of a program. Him and Jake Hager could have a hell of a program.
Can it be Rusev Day again?
No, it'll be some other
Aiden
kind of
English
day.
is also on the list. Bring them both in.
I don't see that happening.
Why not? It was over like you say Grover, right?
It was, but the AEW doesn't need to bring in an Aiden English to get whatever Rusev Day gimmick would be to get over.
Aiden was a big part of it. Aiden
He
was a great worker too.
But it's already over. So
but some say
here's
it
the
ended
thing,
prematurely.
But here's the thing: you
What's
have
the
to
thing,
look
Trips?
at the other guys that are available. So it's like AEW at best is going to sign 4 of these guys, the most.
Oh, so you've just boxed yourself into a corner. You got to pick 4.
I will.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Connect 4.
And you know what? Rusev is number 1.
Rusev. Now, Angle's a slight lean to AEW.
Yeah. So yeah.
We won't count him.
No.
He'll be an auxiliary. Auxiliary? An accessory.
Yeah. Yes. If he brings Lana, then that's the accessory.
That's not Angle's type.
Who?
Kurt Angle. Lana's
I'm
not his
thinking of
type.
Rusev. Forget it. Next.
I think this one, again, what I alluded to earlier, Jim Ross said in recent interviews that if it was his call, the one they would go for right now would be Rusev. He is a stud. All the things you just said, David Hero. As we know, Jim Ross plays a role in the advisory board, if you will, of AEW. He has been very vocal, has Rusev, as of late, about his dissatisfaction with WWE. So the question I ask you, Dave, is why didn't he? You said he always almost got there, but never got there.
Well, I mean,
what had happened?
Well, he's working in a program with John Cena.
What do you
That's one
say?
hell of a glass ceiling you got to break through.
And why didn't he?
It's John Cena.
What does that mean?
Well, Rusev is not going to beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Bray Wyatt did.
He did not beat John Cena at that WrestleMania.
Because he was in a match with Rusev at that
Exactly.
WrestleMania.
That's what I'm talking about. And let's be honest, Bray Wyatt didn't beat John Cena. The Fiend beat John Cena. See, again, you're lost in the details. The context is out the window on this entire thing.
Your logic is out that same window, and I think it went first and broke the glass, just like Marty Jannetty's head in the barbershop. So, okay, Rusev, fine. You're going to not elaborate further on that. That's fine.
What else
All
is
right.
there to say? He didn't win.
See, can he be Rusev? His name is Miroslav Baryanishev.
Maybe he'll just go as Miro.
Ah, yes.
You know?
He's Bulgarian, right? Zdrasti.
That's
Miro.
That's what I heard.
You know Bulgarian?
No.
Zdrasti means hello.
Oh.
Kaksi means how are you?
Hey, I don't want to know about that.
K-A-K.
One. Oh, whoa, even worse.
K-A-K.
Why would you say that?
K-A-K.
Makes me uncomfortable. Things you say.
Look, we need to disclose fully on some of the names that we're about to talk about now because they are friends of yours, friends of mine, friends of the show.
And to be honest, the people we're talking about, I've never even asked them. If I know them,
That's a great point.
I haven't asked them what they want to do.
Well, the
Because
wound is still fresh.
Well, the body's still cold. Well, the body's still warm, actually. Depends what you like.
So this one is a unique story because he's still been part of WWE programming and will be part of WWE programming for at least another week or two. Drake Maverick, former rock star spud of Impact, had just been put into the Cruiserweight tournament, I believe it was, in NXT before his release. Had all kinds of things going on with WWE, and after a heartfelt goodbye after his release last week, posted on social media, what's next?
WWE, and I don't like to criticize them often. I don't like to criticize a lot of people often. If Drake Maverick was the ball, they dropped the ball and kicked it out of bounds with him. Because if you look at what he has done since he's been there, with the AOP and the pissing of his pants, right? Because
he did that.
Because he did that on his own because the gimmick pump didn't work. He somehow was able to urinate himself with the Big Show.
Is he the first one in part of an angle actually
He may
piss
have,
his pants?
yes. So
Vince didn't hear in Milwaukee when Austin held the gun to his head.
He didn't. No, that wasn't real.
That was a gimmick.
Yeah, that was a gimmick.
Yes.
And then you go to the 24/7 championship. He wasn't even supposed to be a player in that. But the way he got over on his social media, he was one of the focal points. Got that over. Everything he's been a part of, he has done well with, and he's gotten it over. So for them to not have anything for him, now, of course, he's in the Cruiserweight tournament, which is very kabuki-ish that they're even letting him continue for the next 2 weeks, even though he's already been released. So you got to, cross your fingers and hope maybe the reaction he gets, no pun intended, is a way for him to stay in the company. I mean, because if he does good business, I honestly believe that there's a very good chance, who knows, maybe they could keep Drake. Maybe they could, como se dice, take back the release, reverse the release.
You know Spanish?
Not really.
Or was that French?
No, that's Estrada English.
Estrada, like Armando, who's
Yeah.
going to be on Inside Story of Wrestling Friday on Fight TV with us?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Now you know.
Speaking of Fight TV, I recently was afforded the opportunity to be a part of a big program that's coming up on their network actually on May 16th.
So how did you get that and not me?
I pay attention to details and context, ladies and gentlemen. I prepare. I show up.
I'm here every week.
And I look pretty.
Well, that's your
You're
gimmick.
here physically every week. Mentally, not quite sure you're always here.
What does that mean? You saying I'm
There's going to be some roundtable discussions with the stars of the movie Cage Fighter, which is going to be released outside the U.S. exclusively on Fight TV on May 16th. It has,
what do you know about cage fighting?
I know a lot about the cage fighting in the movie. The movie.
Oh.
The movie, of course, is about a wrestler who transitions into the MMA world, and
so it's about Brock Lesnar.
No, he's not in the movie.
Oh,
John
Jake
Moxley's
Hager?
in the movie. Christian's in the movie. I believe Booker T also appears in the movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll be playing a big part of those post shows with Fight TV. You can go to fight.tv for all the information on that. In fact, you can tune in to last Monday's, or 2 days ago, PrimeTime live to find out what all that entails. But don't be jealous. Remember when SoCal Val co-hosted with me on Fight, and you sat here for 2 months prior to WrestleMania 33 and pouted?
Well, I love her.
No, you were jealous. You thought
Yeah,
someone was
I
taking
love
your
her.
spot, and she was going to take your spot, but then you pulled out some contract shenanigans and
I didn't
couldn't
do
hire her.
that. Okay.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah. Come on.
What are you, 15
Cody
years?
Rhodes has
15
basically
years in
anointed
WWE?
him as the next signing for AEW.
Hey, they're great friends, right?
Of course.
And they love theme parks together.
And you know what? Zack Ryder looks the part.
Is it the beard?
He shaved it now.
Did he?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to go there. The fans love Zack Ryder.
How long will they, though?
Oh, they will. AEW fans will embrace him. They will love him. Because he's not going to be the Jersey Shore gimmick.
And
he's not going to be a gimmick.
He's not Zack Ryder, though. Does he
No,
own that name, do you think?
No, not a chance. He already changed everything to his real name on his social media.
Matthew Cardona?
Yeah. He's going to be just fine.
That's one thing a lot of people don't catch, and I think really actually takes away when a person jumps ship, if you will. Remember when WCW and WWF were having the Monday Night
Hall and
Wars?
Nash.
And people would come over, and even Hogan's a great example. When Hogan came over to WCW, he wasn't a real American anymore. The music wasn't the same. It was Jimmy Hart's American-made
Yeah.
version, which sounded okay, but it was 20% different, so it couldn't really be challenged. That's a big thing. Your name, your persona, your music, your gear, all of that stuff matters. And I do think it does become a challenge when you go to another organization, from one organization, whether it's from AEW, WWE, whatever it may be. And it's difficult for the fans to re-engage because they're new. Now, Moxley's a different story. He went back to his indie gimmick,
right,
where he had become amongst all the ranks anyways. But for a lot of people, including Zack Ryder, I mean, Matthew Cardona isn't as big a deal.
Right, but here's the thing. When you see him on TV, you know it's Zack Ryder.
Is that because he says you know it?
That too, absolutely.
You have to care that it was Zack Ryder. What I mean by that is assuming it's different audiences, which is a point you've made.
Okay, and it is, because let's look at the AEW audience.
Let's look at the AEW audience.
It's a very Comic-Con fan base audience.
Yes, it is.
And what does Zack Ryder do? He has a toy podcast.
Does he?
He's going to be Where have you been? Oh, you've been in China. I forgot.
That's where they made them all.
Yeah, the toys. I know. I've seen it. Made in China on the box, but the box is made in Mexico. Where do they really come from? I'm so confused by all of this.
You've picked one for AEW.
Yes. I'm going to pick two. Rusev and Matthew
Cardona.
Yeah. Zack Ryder. AEW.
Linda, so far we've got 2 to AEW, 2 big names. Do you want to take a chance to predict from the list of remaining releases who this one might say is next of his 4 picks for AEW to pick up?
This is a wild card, but I'm going to go with Heath Slater.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Heath Slater. I'm saying Heath Slater, and here's why. Similar to Matthew Cardona, he's got a big fan following, and within the indies, and just people who really, or with fans who really feel for these stars. I feel like Heath Slater would be one that could jump ship.
Okay. Is Kurt Angle done?
I feel that he will ride out the storm, and after all of this clears, he is a WWE man, and I feel like he'll be back with WWE in some way or another, whether that's producing or maybe a couple more matches, but I feel like he's going to stick within WWE.
All right. Well, thank you, Linda. So take the volley, David Hero. Heath Slater, is he one of your 4?
I don't know.
He's a one-man rock band. He's endorsed, formally endorsed.
I could see Heath Slater going to the NWA.
He's that way, isn't he?
He is a Carolina.
What I mean by that, yes.
He's a Carolina guy. I think he's just tired of the nonsense 16, 17 years of WWE.
He's been in for a long time.
Yes, he has. And I honestly, I could see him going to the NWA with Billy Corgan and Dave Lagana. Whenever NWA can be up and running again.
Are you surprised? We talk about Heath Slater, reminds me of another person, Jinder Mahal. Are you surprised he didn't get the cut, make the cut?
Not at all. They need him.
There's talk that Jinder is going to be in a big spot coming back.
He's an international star.
And Heath Slater wasn't? He's internationally
Jinder
known to rock a microphone.
Mahal is huge in India. Right? So that's where a lot of they want to get that network over there.
They have it.
But they want more subscribers. They have to have Indian talent on the network.
Are you saying the Great Khali might come back?
Not a chance. But Jinder Mahal, I mean, look at the body transformation. Look how much he's changed.
Well, some people have speculated on that on Twitter. People sending images of.
Okay. But
no, I'm not saying speculate about gender, but saying that when we do see a lot of these people who were released last week, when they come back, they're going to be jacked to the gills.
Of course, because some people don't have the same kind of testing protocols.
I think the allegation that some could interpret you just made is not accurate. What it is, though, is that Jinder, you've talked to him, you're friends.
Yeah.
He's not on stuff.
No.
He just is.
You know what, here's the thing, and if you're on anything, you have to have a doctor's prescription for it. You know? So, again, in general, you can stick as many needles in your body as you want.
So let's go to the next name, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt Hawkins.
Hold on a second, because
Kurt Hawkins. I don't. We are what, 23 minutes into this thing? 25. We've got 5 minutes left, and a lot of names to talk about.
Details and context.
I know, but I don't want those because you just. I'm helping you right now. Okay, I'm helping you right now by
I don't need
stopping you. All right, just look at the brake lights and say, maybe I should stop too. Next, Kurt Hawkins.
Well, he'd probably wind up with Zack Ryder. I mean, they're best friends. Why wouldn't he look out for his
But
best
Zach's
friend?
best friends with Cody.
No. I think they're very close, but his best friend is Kurt Hawkins. Brian Myers, a Blizzard Brawl alumni.
Not AEW. You got two more. Gallows. I keep doing
Gallows
that.
and
Gallows and Anderson.
New Japan.
The Good Brothers.
New Japan.
That's where they were.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that they may have burned a bridge with AEW by using AEW as leverage to get a new deal with WWE that was supposed to go until 2024. And, whoops, that didn't work out so well. And I think AEW is like, okay, well, you know what? You had your chance and you blew it. Now, you never know. They still could wind up there, but I don't see it happening.
Folks, this is the Pro Wrestling Report reaction. We are here on Wednesday night on Fight TV. That's F-I-T-E, fight.tv. And I'm Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. We're also joined by Linda Kay, who will tell you how you can follow us across all of our social media channels.
All right, so make sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to all of our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We have our show on Twitch, our website, pwr360.com, and of course, for free on Fight TV. And with your comments, yes, make sure to use hashtag PWR Live, which is where we, and me specifically, will look for comments to bring onto every week's reaction show, PWR Live.
Thank you, Linda, and we do appreciate engaging with all of you. As you see, our team has been engaging with you in the live chat on our social channels here during this episode tonight. And in fact, in just a moment, Linda's going to tell us who the fans voted for the top pick to go somewhere.
But let's talk about top picks at collarandelbowbrand.com. We can be living the dream. Use promo code PWR360 at collarandelbowbrand.com and save. And get some brand new swag, shirts, shorts, and good stuff for your quarantine shenanigans.
You were doing okay there. Yeah, is that like as in the American dream?
That's exactly. This is, living the American dream.
You didn't flash long enough. I couldn't quite read it. It's like I saw a boot there and I just wasn't sure.
See?
So you got two more picks in 2 minutes or less, David Hero. You said at the beginning of this episode 4 people would go to AEW, should be picked up by AEW rather, of the releases from WWE last week.
Hold on.
You've said Rusev.
Yes.
You said Zack Ryder.
Yes.
And now there's 2 more. And there are some big names here we haven't talked about, including Eric Young, EC3, and Leo Rush.
I can see EC3 and Eric Young going back to TNA, Impact Wrestling.
Really?
Absolutely. Eric Young,
so use your
Canada.
ROH argument.
I could see Leo Rush going to Ring of Honor.
Well, but you... Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have time to debate it.
No, you don't. Because
EC3 and who took back to Impact?
Eric Young, EY. Let's not forget Scott,
D'Amore?
Scott D'Amore, with Team Canada, had Eric Young in his original group. They're loyal. And that I can absolutely see. Yeah, TNA Impact Wrestling and Eric Young. EC3, I could see him going to Impact, but he could also wind up in AEW. So let's put EC3 in AEW also.
You just completely circulated that.
It's called
you
what?
Just completely
PWR
circulated
360.
that.
That's what I do.
EC3.
Yes.
Zack Ryder. And you've got one more that would be the top pick. One of the 4 that AEW should consider picking up.
Kurt Angle
from WWE.
Boom.
We said Kurt Angle wouldn't count because he's a wild card.
We said he was the auxiliary pick.
Accessory.
Oh, now he's an accessory?
Yes, he's an accessory to your 4 picks.
I thought he was an auxiliary.
He's an accessory to your 4 picks. You said 4. Did your 4 include Angle before?
No. I thought I could save him for later to see where I wanted to put him. Oh, you know what?
I cannot follow you.
Sid is the 4th guy going to AEW.
Sid Vicious?
Yes.
Yuli?
Yeah. What? You said he was available.
Dude, you want to see the list? Do you see Sid's name on that list?
I don't see any names on that list. You know what? Sarah Logan.
So clearly you're not going to pick 4. Linda, we asked the fans via PWR360 on Twitter who would be the top pick for any organization to pick up, not just AEW, but any organization to pick up? And I believe you have those poll results for us.
Yes, I do. So coming in first place, I don't think it's a big surprise, Rusev. Rusev number 1, first place.
All right, and as
then,
Dave said, Dave, you want to see and think Rusev would be
he was my first
top pick
yeah.
for AEW. Okay, next, who else, Linda?
All right, in second place, the team of Anderson and Gallows.
Interesting. So pick up for New Japan there, I guess.
Yeah,
because that's where you think they're going.
Yep.
All right, in third place, we've got the all-important Kurt Angle coming in third.
Kangle.
Yeah.
What?
I think there were, what else, Linda?
All right, we also gave you the option of voting for somebody else, others, where you would insert the name, and we got mentions of EC3 and Heath Slater.
Wow, so according to the audience out there, Kurt Angle, Gallows and Anderson, Heath Slater, EC3, and I may have said Kurt Angle, I'm sorry. Those are the top picks of the released list.
Yep.
EC3's been busy.
He looks great. New look, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Linda Kay. Thank you for joining us here on Reaction as well. We'll see you again next Wednesday here on Reaction. In the meantime and in between time, again, thank you very much for joining us.
All right, see ya.
So tonight, though,
Yes,
David Hero,
yeah,
it's AEW Dynamite on TNT, a huge match with huge implications. We talked about this past Monday on PrimeTime. In a matchup for the TNT Championship, Dustin Rhodes.
In the tournament.
I'm sorry, in the tournament,
Yes.
exactly. To advance, Dustin Rhodes will be going up against
Kip Sabian.
And if he doesn't win, he says he's going to hang up the boots. What happens tonight on Dynamite? Dynamite!
I cannot see Dustin Rhodes, an OG super friend, having his last match in an empty arena. No. He's going to find a way to win this match.
You could book it out from if he does lose tonight, though, right?
Sure.
Kip Sabian says, hey.
You can go the Ric Flair route. Next time he loses, you're done. Remember when Ric Flair, his next match, he'd lose the WWE. If he lost, he'd be finished, and Shawn Michaels beat him in the end.
Yeah, but he was finished until he went to Impact 6 months later.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is you can make a story out of this. So if Dustin Rhodes loses to Kip tonight, then maybe Kip says, you know what? I'm going to give you another chance.
No, he's a heel. You don't do that. Heels don't do that.
You can work your way into it.
No. You're wrong.
It's not about
the
right or wrong.
context of that makes no sense.
You are telling me about Sense and Sensibility?
No, I'm talking about context.
That's just all kinds of problems. Folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Fight TV for PWR Reaction. Dave, we're back again on Friday. We apologize. Last Friday night, our episode of Inside Story of Wrestling featuring Armando Estrada did not air as scheduled. And not unfortunately, well, it was unfortunate it didn't air, but we did capsulate and capture that episode, and we will push it out across all of our channels, including right here on Fight TV on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And next week, our guest is Kevin Thorne, former Mordecai.
Verteg, Mordecai, now realtor.
Yes, of WWE, and that's an interesting story, too, one that you want to hear. And don't miss the PWR Today podcast, which drops Monday through Friday with Andrew Baydala and the man they call Meathead, along with peppering from myself and David Hero as well, where you can get all the day's wrestling news to start your day in 20 minutes or less. It's a real good podcast. Take it with you on the go. Take it with you wherever you go. And that is PWR Today, available at PWR360.com.
Take it when you go. That's the best time to listen to it.
Do you have anything, Sally, as we end this show?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed booking this. I can't wait to see where Sid winds up.
There are a lot of people we didn't talk about.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Mike and Maria Kanellis.
We didn't talk about them on
Ring
purpose.
of Honor. I see them going there.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially after, we heard some stuff Monday from them. So this has been PWR Reaction.
Listen,
Details, context.
Details,
context, folks. Here is the, this has been PWR Reaction. We'll see you Friday for Inside Story of Wrestling. Thank you for joining us. And you know what? We've got a new
I
feature.
didn't see that.
We've got a new feature here on Reaction.
Whoops.
It's the Cow Cam. The man in charge of making this show happen,
Look
Cal
at that.
Hero. running the what do you call that gimmick there, making us look
That's called
pretty
a
on
mullet.
TV?
That's more.
That is some hair you got. Cal, welcome to Reaction. It's your second appearance on Reaction, the Cal Cam.
I'm so happy I have my own cam. It's awesome.
Folks, thank you for joining us here on PWR Reaction. We will see you again on Friday for that one. This is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.